juvenile fillies to 14 of them across the track. Sent on their way. End of the dance on the outside, broke a little sideways with Pro KK, but meanwhile it's going to be stopped. But running on now, and Somali Lemonade's got 8 to make up. They come to the top of the lane, stop, Shopping Maria's got a lot left. Stop, Shopping Maria goes on, Sweet Cat is right there, hard not to like, Royal Body is running on. Past the 8 ball, they come, stop, Shopping Maria for the run, still under a hand ride as they come to the 16th. Stephanie's Kitten coming out late. Yes, Stephanie's Kitten coming fast. Stephanie's Kitten, stop, Shopping Maria. Stephanie's Kitten's watered. Watched the chances, broke smartly, but so did Tara from the Cape. On the inside, Sky Lantern the Grey going well. If he can get through. Sky Lantern the Grey looking for somewhere to run. Wide open. It's Tara from the Cape hanging on. Tara from the Cape tries to go all the way. On the outside now, here comes Flotilla in the light blue. Flotilla is absolutely flying. Watch the chances in there too. But Flotilla has gone right on by. And Flotilla is coming home to score. Flotilla has won it just about 2 in the end. It'll be Watch the Chances, Summer of Fun, coming on to finish third.
Live from the backstretch at Saratoga, this is the Handicappers Report. The Handicappers Report is brought to you by Pinnell's Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, Saratoga, just minutes from the track. The new Capital OTB wagering platform. Bet any place, anytime with the new Capital OTB wagering platform. And CapitalOTBBet.com, the premier wagering site in New York State.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Handicapper Report, coming to you live from the backstretch of Saratoga Race Course. Along with Seth, I am Anthony Mormino, as we are now into the second half, as yesterday was day 1 of the second half. And Seth, we had a good day yesterday with Jeremiah in the first with the bomb, and Let Me Know running a very nice 7 furlong race. But I have to tell you, I would be willing to bet all my bankroll that is a steep big tie.
It is a steep big tie.
That is a stunner. That is an absolute
it is a nice
stunner.
Tie. It is a nice tie. Yeah, it came from the Sacco ties.
That's a pretty good.
But I gave you the dead giveaway, though. My ties are all pretty much one color. So if I'm outside of you've got one of my ties. What I would typically.
Today was about the raspberry colored striped shirt. I always say you can only have one thing.
Oh, the seersucker shirt. I like that. Oh.
90 degrees.
Yeah.
I got nervous when I saw our colleagues' jacket list the other day, so I had to immediately start going. So yesterday was like a white linen summer blazer, and because I was a 2-hour tour. And today I was thinking maybe it would be really steamy. I got in the car, and my drive starts off farther south than Seth. The fog was unbelievable.
Yeah, even out in Boston Spa.
Was it? I mean, this morning, but it's not as warm as I thought it was going to be on set today, because it was like.
Wait until the end of my second show. And
I know the second show, not only the time of day, but it being the second show for a given host can be.
We actually taped a piece yesterday, and I'll let people know what's coming up today on Racing Across America. Rob Masiello, owner, kind of a poster boy for partnerships pulling into the game. He started out with West Point Thoroughbreds, and then went off on his own, and now he's a prominent owner. You know, you see his horses in the entries quite a bit in New York. He's also a NYTHA board member, New York Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. So Rob will kick things off. But I was going to say, we taped a piece yesterday with Michelle Giangiulio, and we did it about noontime in here. And it was quite steamy. But if you don't know, Michelle went off on her own fairly recently. A couple of months ago, she had her 6th starter on Wednesday, and her first career win, the Evan Shipman. That's not a bad way to start the career win number 1, a stakes race up in Saratoga. So she will be in a tape piece, and we're also going to be joined by Nicole Russo from the Daily Racing Forum. Of course, Nicole started up here with the Saratoga, with the Racing Forum, but part of her beat is sales and breeding and whatnot. So I thought we'd talk a little bit about what went on Monday and Tuesday night at facing Tipton. So
sales
that's
are healthy,
coming up top of the hour. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's always one of the barometers of the game. You got to have people owning the horses that we're eventually going to bet on. And yesterday, Brian Addo and I went through the card, and Brian was guaranteeing we would be saying it would be a carryover in the pick 6 when we get to race 5. And they do it at Gulfstream Park, and I've always been a fan of the number of live tickets. I think it makes for some of the best reality television you could find. Or tweeting it out, etc. But I was thinking, how many were left after Let Me Know one, who was a beast, I thought, who I loved at 7/8. But by the time that we got to the favorite in the 9th, a lot of them were paying 4. So a carryover. We thought, even as I loved the card yesterday. It had like 3 winning favorites, which is like 30%, which is about almost the industry norm. It had a couple of bombs. It had a couple that I consider medium type horses, between $10 and $16. Man, I think that's a nice buffet.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could tell people were having fun with some of the prices. I'm just looking here. Your Jeremiah winner, who I had that one in the mix. As I walked into the track, I was talking to somebody about race number 1, and I said, the Jeremiah horse is live here, looking up at the price. Yes. I think I had it in the second and the third slot at $26 there.
I've said this often, that Golden Sense, who most people would say is the lowest on merit dual winner of a Breeders' Cup, be way down there. He's a son of Into Mischief. They had 3, Into Mischief had 1, Golden Sense had 2. My point being, Golden Sense has turned out to be a noticeably better stallion, and he won 2 Breeders' Cup races.
No, he's one of those sires that I always look at for winning early tights.
And I know Jeremiah was cold, but I thought it was a more wide open race. I think it was like the 7th choice in a field of 9 in the betting, and looked pretty darn good. Didn't look like the 7th betting choice at about the 3/16 pole.
Then a couple of Mike Maker horses. Candy Flower was a favorite. Dancing Kiki, I did not know. I will readily admit I whiffed on Simply Ravishing. I put her on top, and I just didn't know what to do with her. But there was some workouts a little bit earlier that were okay. The seasonal debut wasn't much. And coming out of the quarantine, I shouldn't have known better, is the point. Not that I would have had Dancing Kiki, but at 7-1, that one gets it done. Light in the Sky was $20.
I know at least one person thinks Inside was beneficial yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And Let Me Know and Dancing Kiki in different races, 1 2 turns, and the other one 7/8, that they were over there. And they seem to keep on keeping on, if you know what I mean, and score the victory in Dancing Kiki. What'd she come back? $16? Yeah.
16. Light in the Sky, 20. Key Point, another favorite. Dufresne, I played that one in the low rollers contest, so that got me going a little bit. Until Take It Out won at $79.
What?
And then kind of blew up the low rollers contest because some folks
now,
said
you're
that.
there, like, did somebody have them and they win the contest at that point? I mean, I don't know how these...
At that point, there was already a $20 winner, and
going on over there?
It's just a recap for the day.
Oh, okay.
That comes out at the end of every day. They go over the winners of every race and the leaders and whatnot.
So did somebody in the low rollers have...
But by then, there was the $26 horse and the $24 horse and the $20 horse.
Yes.
So by then, you're now in the 7th race, and they don't take the last race in the low rollers. Be aware of that if you play the low rollers.
Okay.
So there's now 7, 8, 9 left. People are running out of bullets. So I'm guessing that a few people just looked up at the board and said, "Oh, I'm going to take a price here."
Which I have to say, we've talked about this before. what is it called when you have to put your selections in before it starts? That type of contest. That would be my most favorite one.
Pick and pray.
Pick and pray, because that you know that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not a horse you like.
Yeah, you're right.
But you're not risking anything, and the leaders are still playing by the same concept almost. And I think you can't have
is a
people
flaw
in a contest that are like. And I said trying to get some places between pick and pray and this is like you would have to submit like 3 horses before it starts. So it's not completely pick and pray 3. Now obviously somebody's going to have a bomb in the 3, but that's going to cost them if they're winning. They don't have, but there has to be a meeting of the minds, because like you said, well, I'll just throw this up on the wall because I can't win, etc. But I thought yesterday, if from a betting standpoint, you go to the racetrack, that's a day at the races where the favorites had their chances. A bomb was in there, and I don't really consider $26 horses bombs, but maybe some people do. But a really fair day. There's a carryover, which you could, which Brian saw.
No, 12 to 1. You're mid pack with $26.
Yes.
The $79 horse was a bomb.
Right, and I guess it's probably different because I think of $14 winners probably the same way people think of like $6 and $8 winners. I'm like, yeah, they can win. They win pretty regularly. So I thought a very terrific day of racing yesterday.
End of the day yesterday, Luis Saez is at 36, Jose Ortiz at 30. On the trainer side, Mike Maker by 2 over Chad Brown, 19-17. Todd Fletcher's third at 12.
Not too many days Luis Saez gets shut out.
No,
Yeah.
you're
And I think
right.
I was counting, and just casually, so don't. I think he had 7 or 8 days where he's won 3.
Yeah,
At least 3.
He's had a number of those. Kieran doing a
I
great
haven't
job.
looked it up yet, but I did plan on looking it up. That's got to be pretty darn good, because you always think when John Velasquez won, it seemed like he won 1 every single day. I'm going to look it up to see what the record is for 3 baggers at a Saratoga meet, how many days you've done it. But I think Luis has, I think he had about 7 or 8 at the halfway point.
As I say, Kieran,
not common.
Kieran McLaughlin is agent
He's
doing a
agent.
great job, no question about it. And Dylan Davis, nice day yesterday with a couple of winners. Tyler Gaffleone won 1, and I will say we also taped yesterday, went over to the Jocks room, taped a piece with Tyler Gaffleone that will run on Saturday, because he's going to be on God Stormy on Saturday afternoon. So that's a nice piece too to look forward to for Saturday. Let me hit on the promos before we get kicking here, because the bounty bet returns. Keep that in mind. Played a late pick 5 today at Saratoga with your capital OTB bet account, and you're live for all or part of the bounty. See if you can get lucky on Friday the 13th. Also today at the Clubhouse Racebook, $100 trifecta challenge. Saratoga Syndicate is tomorrow. Again, I'm sure it's full. It's first come, first serve, and opens on Sunday, and that's why we do it every Saturday up here. So if you'd like to get into the Syndicate, get you into a big ticket for a small amount of money, check out the website on Sunday to get your opportunity to be in. Saturday, the $100 Pick 3 contest bankroll. Check out the website to potentially get on the team on Saturday for the Pick 3 bankroll. Saturday is a Play the Board contest at the Clubhouse Racebook. Sunday is Show Pool bankroll. Check out the website for more information there. And Sunday at the Clubhouse Racebook, a Pick 4 and a match bet promotion. And speaking of the Clubhouse Racebook, I will say, seems like it's going to be steamy up here again today. I will tell you, people had a lot of fun yesterday, despite the sauna-like weather. And don't forget, one of the beauties of the track here, you can bring in a cooler, load it up with ice and beverages, and stop someplace and buy some sandwiches and park out in the backyard on a picnic table, and you can enjoy yourself that way. But as we are part of Capital OTB, I'll also remind people, if you have your set number of visits to the track in mind for this year, and you think, I'm not going to make it on one of these humid days, don't forget Branch's Easy Bets, the Clubhouse Racebook down in Albany. You can enjoy it in the air conditioning this afternoon too, so that's also an option.
Now, another chance at today's bankroll. What classic winner won on August the 13th up here in their debut, and who was the jockey? And it was not a Friday, but it was Thursday, August 13th.
Oh man, that is way too granular for me.
I mean, trust me, there haven't been as many classic winners debut up here
Well, certainly,
Easy Goer did not debut up here.
Certainly.
Pine Bluff did not debut up here.
Classic winner, I don't know. I'm not even sure I could make a good stab at that.
I'll give you another hint. This is crazy. I think they're in the Hall of Fame. I'm 95% sure they are. Yes. And in this case, now that I think about it, the jock also. August 13th, 1987, a Thursday, Randy Romero on Winning Colors.
Oh,
She would not come back to the races until December. But it was a Thursday, Romero riding for Lucas, Winning Colors.
Oh, wow. Okay.
August 13th. There haven't been many. You can look it up. That have debuted here. She won on debut. She won the Kentucky Derby. I believe she's in the Hall of Fame. Randy Romero is in the Hall of Fame, but can't believe that that was 34 years ago today. You ready?
I am.
Hopefully another wild and crazy day. Remember the carryover in the pick six. So what's that? 2 out of 3 racing days?
And frankly, it could have been a 3-day carry. I mean, the Wednesday card was no gimme.
Brian brought that up yesterday. He said there was 18 winners, which shocked him also. He's like, how does 18 people win this? I said, I would love to know the tickets involved, the price point. We're in the opener, though. Maiden Claimers, State Breds, $25,000, Racing 6.
I won Master of the Obvious here with the Jim Bond Tour, 7-1-3-2, big little risk. Moved out of State Bred, excuse me, Maiden Special Company last time into a Maiden Claimer. Excuse me, showed some speed before fading, but now gets a little extra dose of class relief and shows a first-time gelding symbol. I thought with the early speed over the last couple of races, the extra class relief, this one would have a little bit of an advantage, perhaps. Luis Saez jumps on board. That attracted my attention as well. Arms and Armor, similar scenario to the top pick. Class-wise, making similar kind of move, also showing some speed, adds the blinkers, leaves from the rails. So I almost could have flip-flopped these two and had an equal level of confidence. But Far Away Look is another one making the potent class move. Hasn't been seen in a while, though, so this is the first start off a long layoff for Ken McPeak, and I'll be curious to see. You get the drop off the layoff like this, and maybe it's a little bit more of a concern, but I wouldn't overlook that one either. I have it 7-1-3-2.
I'll say this about that. There are my picks, but based on how the racing was conducted yesterday, and if I thought maybe it was going to be similar, I might swap my top 2 picks. Now, Arms and Armor and Big Little Risk running for the tag for the second time, both dropping from their initial try at 40 now down to 25. Big Little Risk has shown speed on the turf. Maybe it'll transfer. The only dirt try was on an off-going, I believe, muddy. Arms and Armor with Ricardo Santana, I think they're going to be going. And I think that might not be disadvantageous on the track. So between 5-2 and 9-5, and seeing how the betting goes, I would be strongly inclined. Remember, we generally speaking, we need to get these picks in at noon the day before. That's an hour before racing conducts. So to me, I would be happy to transfer the 1 and the 7 in here, the 8 for third. But I do think, I don't live in this world, but I guess if you were playing the early pick 5, maybe the 1-7 would make you feel comfortable getting through it.
Yeah, I think so. Second race at Saratoga this afternoon kicks off the early pick 4. B-condition claimers going 8.5 on the grass.
And a quick note, the 3 and the 9 are NTOs, so as a stakes race, we'd be looking at 8 in here, and Stanford not in my mix. Hopefully in our son's mix in about 4 years. Whatever you want to say. Only kidding. But and that's coming from a USC guy, so it tells you how much reverence I have for that school. 5-2-7, ladies and gentlemen, for me in this turf race, which we kind of seem as if we're going to get around 1:41 in the afternoon. So Summer to Remember, my top pick going out for Luis Saez, who's coming off of a shutout yesterday. Very rare for Luis. What did you say? He had 36, 35? What is he?
36.
36. I mean, that's he and Kieran McLaughlin, as you said, and agents and jockeys, they go together just like caddies. But this, I just think this runner is going to get a very, very good race setup. I mean, middle of the pack, post position, a jockey who's shown early energy. I'm envisioning getting a very good trip in here. This horse ran in Stakes Company, now is in a capital B, and I think, I didn't write it down, but I'm pretty sure this is yes, I can look it up now. This is his first time in for a tag for a powerful barn, and Summers, remember, is my top pick. For second, number 2, Price Talk. Jorge Abreu sends out this runner for the 3rd start of the year. First start since early June. And for third, number 7, Hyper Focus for Linda Rice. Might better the 3rd place pick for me at 15-1 is towards the outside, but 5-2-7 in the second.
Yeah, at 15-1, I looked at Hyper Focus, and I wouldn't argue anybody off of that one. Stanford for Mike Maker, I think, can be a player in here as well. It's a fun race. I went 5, 8, 2, and 10, so we have the same top pick.
Sure.
And looking at the one sheet last night, the Friday one sheet was already up. We kind of overlap in a few races, but then we veer away in some other ones a little bit later on. But some are to remember. Luis Saez jumping on board, that attracted my attention. It's Todd Pletcher. The Monmouth race was pretty good, and off the number of that and the couple of races just prior, number-wise, seems like a good shot in here. Junkanoo goes out for Chad Brown, makes a potent move into a claimer for the first time in the career. A couple of starts this season, one in January and one in June over at Monmouth. The Monmouth got this horse through the N1X condition, and now they come back at the reduced tag level, and I think this horse is going to be a cozy fit with this bunch because of that. And then it is Klarovich, but not Chad Brown. It's Abreu with Price Talk, who I think can be a player as well. If you look at the numbers, this one is tossed. Also, getting a little class drop, dropping in for a tag, not for the first time though. Broke the maiden last year up here for a maiden claiming tag. Did it pretty convincingly. Has been in against tougher since. Now drops in for the tag again though. Should, as I say, also fit nicely with this group. For me, in the second, 5, 8, 2, and 10. There's
little chance we agree on the next race, at least in the top slot. That'd be very odd if we do. On to the 3rd race, mile 16th on the inner turf course. Remember, the rails have been down this week. Billies and Mares in for 75 maiden claimers.
Well, since you said that, I'm guessing you swung a little bit. I didn't. Yes. I went with the Chad Brown Klarovich entry, the one entry, 7, 6, and 10. I thought. Now
I have to ask you, because I was thinking about this. Do you want the entry, or do you want 1A, or do you want 1, or do you find them shoulder to shoulder?
This time, I'll usually separate, at least for the top pick, because if I much prefer one over the other.
Yeah, I don't want to be stuck with the other guy.
Yeah, I'll note it.
So
if we get down in the mix a little bit, sometimes I'll just trust the trainer if one goes out and one stays. But in this one, I'm using both halves of the entry, and I think they're pretty comparable. Right. Coalition building, maybe you can draw a line through the dirt start. I think you can. It looks like an aberration. So this is the first time on turf for a tag. Infinite potential, only a couple of starts in the career. They were against Maiden Special Company. I thought they were okay. Now makes that potent move into a maiden claimer. So again, I thought both of these were live in here. Now Use Can't Leave, and again, I'll have Rob Masiello on a little bit later. I'm assuming that is a reference to a Bronx Tale, I believe. I'll ask Rob about that.
There's no way it can't be. Yeah. I mean, in the lexicon of America, that type of, I don't know what it would be called, not slang, but the influence of your language, is just that one scene. Okay,
now you can't lose.
Like you just that's the word, use. Like that's the word. It's not like a mistake or anything. That's the word.
And then as always, when I have a guest on, I'll check their Twitter feed the night before, and Robin tweeted out, because I guess like every place, help is tough to get at the track too, and so there have been a couple times when they've closed the gate back here earlier than they normally would, the backstretch gate. And so last night I came back here to leave, an hour and a half after the last race or whatever, and the gate was already closed, which again is a little bit unusual. But Rob obviously did exactly the same thing. Took a picture of the gate and said, titled the tweet, Now you can't leave.
Awesome. Well,
So it was pretty good.
fantastic.
But this one made special weight to maiden claiming for Tom Morley with, again, numbers that stack up really nicely with this group. And Naked on the Beach in the third spot. Norm Cass
I
and
think it's
St.
great that you made a
Pope.
Twitter reference, Mr. I don't believe in social platforms.
Well, like I say, with guests, they have to check and come up with that type of thing. But not Naked on the Beach also made special weight to maiden claiming. So one entry, 7, 6, and 10.
And I do think the entry is shoulder to shoulder here. You know, you look at their buyer numbers, even on the turf, they're right there. I kind of lean a little bit more for Infinite Potential. But I was thinking, you know, Chad Brown, who has owned the finale the last 2 days with turf races, I think horses dropping, etc. But so you have Coalition Building, second time tag, Infinite Potential, first time tag. I went out on the limb here. Well, Wicked Happy for Leah Germani. One thing that I thought was intriguing was that Leah wasted no time in claiming this runner back. Now, that could be a personal thing.
I do like a claim.
This is the veteran in the group, and I've mentioned this before, that I think often the veterans are cast aside. I keep denotations on how often the most veteran or the second most veteran win these claiming races, and as a function of their price, obviously, for me. And Wicked Happy, it justifiably should be 12-1, but this is my thought, Seth, if it isn't Infinite, the entry, I think I'm in the mix. I mean, I hope Now You Can't Leave is, you know, in the mix too, but I thought Wicked Happy, this might be a chance just to upset the apple cart strongly, breaking from the hedge. It has hit the board 7 out of 10 times in the turf, albeit 5 of them are for third place. So it's definitely a reach here. The entry is so tough in here. And then I had Synonymous, first off the claim, Luis Saez, Pat Quick, 2, the entry, 9.
All right, doing one more?
Yes.
The fourth, that means, is another conditional claimer, N2L condition, 40 tag, 3/4 of a mile, the trip.
And to me, this seemed to be the type of race that for horizontal players, I don't know, you take the 3, 4, 5 and you move on. I mean, we were talking about this yesterday, Brian Addo and I, because I am earnestly trying to have a better attack on this. I think he was indicating to me that that's one way to play it. The other is if you choose to make a stand in this race, in the horizontals, you get a much better price if you're right. To me, I think in this type of race, I'd be looking for the 3, 4, 5. You see them, well, you will see them in a moment. For me, I thought there was a lot to like, 4 people. So Air Show for Tom Amos is my top pick. Comes off an odds-on defeat at Indiana, but comes in here with Tyler Gaffleone. Has a win, 2 races back, going 6th. You know, obviously deep waters at Saratoga, but he didn't try like allowance racing. He tried the softest spot he could find, and I think he's looking to win this race. 6-pack is my second pick. George Weaver's first off the claim. And for third, number 5, Likeable. I could mix these up. I thought they were very even on here. If I was, it wouldn't be a race I'd be looking to play a trifecta. And if I was playing a horizontal, if I ever, to me, it's 3, 4, 5. And I move on.
I didn't use the 5.
That's okay. I'm going to
kick
myself. Sounds like you used the other 2.
Yeah, no, I did. But the 5 is one of those that's just first time gelding. They drop in for a tag. I can't see the numbers,
so you have to tell me who you use.
I have it 4, 3, 1, and 6. So yeah, the 4 and the 3 are logical. But Likeable is just one of, and I can easily see this sort of drops in for the tag. First time gelding. It's Fletcher Rapoli and Saez on board. I'll kick myself if it does it, but to me, it's the scenario.
That's
was
when you want to stay away from.
Yeah, too much. I thought the others had an edge in here. Air Show, as you say, for Tommy Amos comes in with some solid numbers over the past few starts out of town that fit nicely with these.
I like where he placed the horse.
Yeah,
saw
Tommy Tom the other night. He was at the TRF Gumbo out at Simply Food by Merrow on Route 9, and I said, got to get you on the show sometime. And he said, sure. So we'll have him some morning.
I suspect he can do television well.
Yeah, exactly. Also tout the TRF event. The Gumbo was very good with Michael Bacek.
I liked his, of all the people that, all this Zoom and everything, whatever room Tom was in was probably the one room of all the people I saw.
Randy Ross.
Randy had it. I saw his.
Yeah. You think a library
like-
behind him, but he had a commemorative 8th pole kind of sitting
Yeah.
behind him, and
Tommy's looked really elegant and very regal. I think I'd like
just so long as you're not looking at the ceiling behind that. Presume that was 80% of the people. It's like, no, pull the computer
right.
up a little bit and tilt down.
Horizontal, yeah.
We don't want to see the light on
People
your
should know
ceiling.
that Seth's previous lifetime he was in. He
Yeah,
was
that-
television production.
Yeah, that
he's
automatically
shots.
is like, oh, better lighting, tilt down a little bit for
Seth's
every.
for higher consultation in case this Zoom should.
That may be a
continue
thing
on.
now. Zoom consultant.
Absolutely.
Very good. 6-pack. In the second spot for George Weaver, 10 Strike Racing, Marshall Graham. It was Marshall and 10 Strike that were behind the winner of the Evan Shipman. Again, Michelle Giangiulio will join us a little bit later. Her first career win, the stakes race the other day. But it was a recent
very
claim.
playable in that race. If you didn't like Mr. Buff,
Yeah.
it was like,
Yeah.
you know.
Absolutely. And again, just off the clever claim from
I
Marshall.
know the Evan Shipman used to be one of my favorite races because it indicated the end of the Belmont Spring Summer.
Oh, yeah,
It used to be the
you're
last
right.
stakes
Yeah,
race
you're right.
on that Sunday before they came up to the spa on Wednesday. So I always had a soft spot in my heart for the Evan Shipman. I knew good things were coming.
New York breds.
Yes.
So six back in the mix, and then supply and demand on the class drop for Klarovich and Abreu. Steps out of allowance company. Tried the turf last time. It was okay. So turf to dirt, cuts back a little bit, and some class relief. I could make a real case there. I have it 4, 3, 1, and 6.
And I'll give you another quick one. The Whitney hasn't been, it now has, it wasn't, when Aguilar won the Whitney, it wasn't a grade 1. It wasn't a grade 1.
When Aguilar won?
Yes,
Really?
so Fiorito won it in 81. I think he prepped in the Evan Shipman. 8-7-9 for me, a first-time starter, Joe Sharp, Luis Saez, Lady Daye, I'm going to presume, maybe, is that how she spelled the name in Phantom of the Opera? Was it D-A-N? I'm not sure. But Joe Sharp sends out this runner, just like yesterday in the first, just really looking for a flyer. I'm looking in the main body here. Quick note, 11, 12, 13, AEs, 14, 15, 16 are empty.
Wait, you're skipping a race.
Did I skip a race?
Yeah, we were on 4.
Oh, I must be so excited.
We were on 4, and you did 4. That's what I thought.
I did 4.
Yeah. So,
But I spoke first. So we're taking a quick break.
There you go.
No, I don't even want to stop talking. There's a surprise. Take a quick break. We'll be back more live from Saratoga.
A day at the track isn't complete without a night at the Horseshoe. Great food, hot music, and cold drinks. So why go downtown when all the action's just across from the track? The Horseshoe Inn at the corner of Nelson and Gridley.
Capital OTB is now streaming live on Roku. The RTN Racing channel on Roku lets you watch OTB TV live through your Roku device or your Amazon Fire Stick, rather than being limited to computers and mobile devices, which means you can now watch OTB live wherever you are. Simply open Roku, scroll to find the RTN channel, then click on OTB TV. OTB TV on Roku. Try it now.
Where's the best place to find your favorite teams, your favorite food, daily drink specials, and wagering on live horse racing? Legends Field Sports Bar, 711 Central Avenue, Albany. Get your game on day or night with 75 flat-screen TVs, tournament-style pool tables, a private banquet room, and live horse racing. So if someone asks you, where's the best sports bar in the capital region? Tell them Legends Field Sports Bar, inside the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the backstretch of Saratoga Race Course, up to the 5th race. 2-year-old fillies, maiden special weights, open company, dashing 5.5 on the turf.
I have it 6, 12, 7, and 3. The 12 is a couple of deep on the AE list. So if that one doesn't make it in, pull a 4 in. But split second, Sunny goes out for Chad Brown, Michael Dubb, and company. Worked 10.2 before the April sale. Connect is pretty good with first-time starters. So far this year, 21 first-time starters, 3 wins, a couple seconds, 7 thirds. So 12 in-the-money finishes in 21 starts, 5 exacta finishes from 21. So as I say, Connect is okay with win early tights, but also the Dam has produced some nice runners. Sibling called Proud of My Honey won its career debut, and another sibling, Marianne or Ginger, went out for Al Gold and Gold Square, as you can tell by the name maybe, but that one won its career debut as well. So I thought there's win early all around. Top, bottom, and the breeding. Chad can have them ready. I'll take the 6-1 price. Split second, Sunny on top. Halo of Fire goes out for Wesley Ward. Munnings is really good with first-time starters as well. 53 first-time starters this year, 10 wins in 11 seconds. So pretty solid numbers for the sire. Certainly Wesley Ward can have them ready. And then Speedometer goes out for Steve Asmussen. This is a sibling to Nitrous, who you might remember from fairly recently from these same connections. That one started the career running second and then won the second start. This horse hasn't quite lived up to it. Now moves to the turf, but could be a little bit interesting in the third start with that breeding. 6, 12, 7, and 3, and the 4 gets pulled in if the 12 doesn't make it.
I have to. I know it's a 5.5 furlong on turf dash. We get many of these. It's not the maiden special weight on the undercard of the Travers. It's on the turf. But I'm telling you, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, and the 6, the 10, the 11, the 12, and the 13. The 11, 12, and 13 are also eligible. They all intrigue me for maybe a different time on the calendar and a different distance. I'm telling you, I cannot think of too many maiden races where that many horses.
The L train from Chad.
Oh boy!
And I might have pulled that one in if it wasn't 3 deep.
Well, 3 deep, and I would think it might be a little practice, down the road.
Yeah.
But
like you say, this one,
wow,
a different distance maybe.
The 10, I'm like, holy cow! The 1, the 4, it's like, oh, and I'm 8, 7, 10 because I'm a lunatic. But I meant over the next 4 months, the horses that I'm mentioning in here. Lady Diary is my top pick in here because I'm sure to get lost in the wagering here. I don't have any information. That's the first year I took. The other 2 in the main body are the only 2 that have run, the 7 and 9. The other 8 in the main body, which is 1 through 10, are firsters. I don't have any information. Speedometer, who I liked earlier in the week, got beat at 8-5. Now adds blinkers. It gets to the turf, and Champagne Cammy for Vladimir Sarin makes the third start. Got beat at 11-1 in debut. Got beat at 5-2 in the second start. 8, 7, 9. Just keep the program. Look at these horses over the next 4 months. I think there'll be a.
And that race, we should reiterate, kicks off. Nice way to kick off the $132,000 carryover. Pick 6 starts in that 5th race.
I wish I had a big-time pick 6 player who would speak off the record. Like, how do you begin?
Yeah, at least as the pick 6 players often note, that's in the first leg, so you get a little look at the odds board at least.
I wouldn't trust the odds board.
Not so much in the 6th race, however, which is also a maiden event. 2-year-old fillies, New York breds, going 6 furlongs.
11 through 16 are also eligible. These are the old days, Seth, when they are knocking down the door at the entry box to get in. So it's a field of 10. With 6 on the AE, 7, 5, 2. I'm trying to look here quickly. Usually I make a note at the top. I thought I was right. Only the 4 in the main body has started, and only 2 of the 4 AEs have started. So 3 out of the 16 have run. So this is, I took it into mischief for Roddy and Mary Valenti, Darlene Belinsky, Todd Pletcher. I'm sure I won't be the only one. Oh, look at that. We have the same trifecta. This will be interesting. And then Sue Ellen Mishkin, Jorge Abreu, who just is a sharp trainer, and is this the stallion? This is first crop, right? I always try and do the math. It's usually 4 years after you retire, you have juveniles if everything goes well. And then you have to take the Freud offsprings because he's been the dominant New York base stallion for a long time. 752. Just the guesses that I think is going to be very popular.
Yeah, and rooting for Roddy. Roddy had a winner up here the other day,
Yes.
so congratulations there. But as you say, into mischief so far this year, 77 first-time starters,
This
6
year,
wins,
last
16
year,
seconds,
next
8
year.
thirds.
I told you, I don't know if I told you, I said he won the race at Santa Anita after Ravens Pass won the Breeders' Cup Classic. So down the road, years from now, they'll be like, who was the most influential horse? Yeah, the horse that won the Damascus when NBC went off the air, or ESPN, I mean.
The siblings weren't necessarily win early, but they were winners and kind of early. Sibling Darling Duchess won in start 4 and start 6. Another sibling, Carly's Waterfront, second, then third, then 1. So again, there's some nice win early. Not only is this one owned by Roddy, but homebred as well. So rooting for Roddy to get it done with Doc Rock. Sue Ellen, Michigan, which I looked it up. It's Al Gold, who, as I say earlier, I mentioned his Marianne and Ginger. He's clever with his names. I looked it up. I believe this is the Seinfeld reference to, but there were different spellings of it, but I believe that's what it was. But Mohayman this year, 18 first-time starters, 4 wins, 3 seconds, 2 thirds. Trainer good with first-time starters. And how'd you make your money? 10.1 before the sale in April. There's a sibling, Mosienko, who ran yesterday, I think, was third and then won the second career start, so it'll win early there as well. I have it 7, 5, 2, and 3, and we'll see if we can have a meeting of the minds there on the triple. Now I have to nail that one and see if we do. If the meeting of the minds does pay off.
Well, we're not going to have a meeting of the minds for the 7th page. State Breds, Fillies and Mares, entry-level allowance on the inner turf racing a mile.
I don't know.
We're not having if this number comes up, oh, you're close, but you ain't that close. You did take a shot. Matter of fact, your shot is higher on the morning line than mine, which I would have lost that bet too. But you like, I mean, listen, it's in my list too. I mean,
we've been in here the past 3-4 weeks when Bick has come out with his play of the day and talked about the state bred 2-turn races.
Yeah, he had the opportunity the other day. He went a different direction. He didn't take the long on the lawn, which I rarely.
But I'll buy into it as a racer. You can look around and shop for a price. And I went with Pretty Clever, who the career debut on the turf was not much. I'm looking at that, though, as maybe just a lack of maturity, because then the horse laid off from the 2 to the 3-year-old season.
Maybe something went wrong.
And that could be as well.
When you see that layoff and such a poor performance, it's a legitimate
Absolutely.
Not having Mr. Farmer call us up and say, oh, something went wrong, etc. I mean, he didn't come back running 15 days later, so I'm with you 100%.
So now he came back. 2 dirt sprints, and if you've heard me enough, I like the angle of 2 sprints to a stretch out to 2 turns in the 3rd career start. This is a little bit different going dirt
because
to
you're
turf.
An old handicapper.
But exactly. But I'll trust Marquesi. 10-1, Gaffleone on board. I'll take my pop there with Pretty Clever. 2nd slot, my lips are sealed. Some speed from the outside for George Weaver. I think that could be dangerous. And Freedom Machine for Rick Schatzberg. Nice improving buyers and get Saez on board. Got a little education at this level last time, and sometimes they'll take a start or 2 to figure out that next level. She probably got that education that was necessary last time, and as I say, Saez attracts me as well. 3, 11, 10, and 6.
And I'll just touch on more glitter. Boy, you gotta like when New York State Breds tripped the teletimer 107-4 on the turf at Aqueduct in the 2nd start. This horse had about a 14-month layoff, was formerly the Todd Pletcher barn, now is on the locomotive that is Mike Maker for Mike Rapoli. Jose Ortiz gets the run, and obviously the 11 and the 3. I agree with Seth.
Race number 8 on this Friday the 13th afternoon. I'm wondering if all the 1-3 doubles, the rolling doubles during the day, will be depressed.
People do that, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I think. I don't know whether it's still a thing, but I would think it probably is. This is an optional claimer. Non-winners of 2 other than 5.5.
Didn't we have like 3 of them a couple years ago? An anomaly. Think about within the last 5 years. I think 1 year we had 3 Friday the 13th. I'm not sure. I know in okay. 236 for me. Let's
I know I did break the mirror here the other day, though, so luckily it didn't happen on Friday the 13th. That would have been doubly bad.
So it would have been 14 years. I should just pack it in. Jeez. Duress. How appropriate. Apparently I'm a day late, dollar short for Tom Albertrani. But coming off of the last race, it's the toss third start of the year. Duress gets my top pick with Joel Rosario, the finisher in here. Noble Emotion for Horatio De Paz. Apparently I'm a day late on this show. Going for 3 in a row this year. And for third, number 6, Joker on Jack. Runs for a tag for the first time for Wesley Ward. The 4 and the 7 are MTOs. And okay, we doubled up on one of them, but you didn't like Duress and you don't like Joker on Jack. Okay.
I have Duress on the 4th spot. I have a 3,
all
1,
right.
9, and 2. I put Noble Emotion on top. The De Paz runner, third start back, has some early speed. That early speed produced a couple of wins. So third start back and 2 for 2, 2 for 3 over the Saratoga course, including the last start. So it just made some sense to me. Shecky Shabazz, this is a talented turf sprinter.
What to do with him?
But do know that, I mean, the wins in the career were when the horse was in the care of Jason Service. And all those service horses, you kind of had to step back and reassess after that whole situation. And the horse has run well, but doesn't have a win since that period. So I was a little bit, I couldn't take the horse out. 4 for 5 in the exact up here at Saratoga. You have to put the horse in the mix. And then Competitive Saint for our friends at Bonaventure Stables, Dan Collins and company. Luis Saez back on board off the seasonal debut, which was pretty good. I was standing with the Bonaventure people in this one. Ran a decent little third that day. And again, I thought it was a good race to build the rest of the season on. So for me, 3, 1, 9, and 2.
On to the 9th race featured today.
Going to the 9th or taking a break?
We'll take a break. No?
Yeah.
You can do the 9th race or a break. What do you want? All right, we take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, the late Daily Double.
Welcome to the West. I'm Scott Varley at Saratoga's latest and greatest high-rise luxury condo. Starting in the mid-5s, every condo here has 2 bedrooms and 2 baths and upgrades just like this. Check out these oversized private balconies. We also have a gym, a private lounge, and get this, a heated parking garage. To make a reservation for your private condo at the West, call or text me. I'm Scott Varley at 518-281-6808.
Capital OTB is now streaming live on Roku. The RTN Racing channel on Roku lets you watch OTB TV live through your Roku device or your Amazon Fire Stick, rather than being limited to computers and mobile devices, which means you can now watch OTB live wherever you are. Simply open Roku, scroll to find the RTN channel, then click on OTB TV. OTB TV on Roku. Try it now.
Come on.
I want sales reports on my desk by Monday.
Oops. My bad. Love racing? RTN brings you every live simulcast on your home television, plus live video streaming and race replays on your PC and mobile devices. To order, visit rtn.tv. RTN, a breed apart.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, up to the 9th race. Tail of the Cat. Here's another one for you, Seth. The King's Bishop was not a grade 1 when John Forbes, Julie Crone, in a race that has been awesome and has had some incredible performance. Tail of the Cats might have been the most dominant, and it was a grade 2. They chased the grade 1 for Tail of the Cat for breeding reasons so hard. They didn't get there. We had an Offspring Light in the Sky yesterday, an Offspring and Tail of the Cat won yesterday. Today we run the Tail of the Cat at 6 furlongs.
6-5, 4 and 2. I'll put Foolish Ghost on top for Ray Handel. It's just a horse that's in good form right now. Comes out of a win in the, well, got a little criticism.
Oh boy!
I don't know if you could hear that. I don't know if I've ever heard one that loud. A little whinny back there as he passed the set.
I'm wondering if it's a relative of Foolish Ghost.
That's right. Thanks for picking my
trumpeting
my buddy. But Ray Handel's runner 2 for 2 over the last couple of starts, including the Morrissey right up here early in the meet. Wonder where Craig is. Luis Saez on board for Brittany Russell. If you're not familiar with Brittany Russell, and she is an up-and-comer down in the Mid-Atlantic region. What was it? Was it last fall? She was shooting at 50% down at Laurel, I want to say. And obviously, you move to other circuits, those numbers change a little bit. But she has come to New York and kept things going nicely as well. So I wasn't sure what to do with this horse off the triple digit last time. This may wind up being the one to beat. I just thought overall, more consistently, Foolish Ghost was firing numbers that I wanted to hang my hat on, but wonder where Craig is, and Wind of Change, both coming out of triple digit wins that I think could indicate those are horses that will be solid players this afternoon. But for me, 6, 5, 4, and 2.
Well, one thing we know about Brittany Russell, she's paying attention as Luis Saez has the mount, so it's not. Seth, when I looked at this race, I had 5 of the 6. The 3 might be a little bit of a reach even for me, but in races like this, they're great. I mean, you have to, how you get through as a horizontal. I mean, here, I took the longest price of all of them, who just got beat as the favorite, going 7/8 on July 16th. First off the claim, from Peter Miller to Peter Walder. I don't have a big opinion on this race, except 5 out of the 6 could win. I was thinking and really hoping that the outside speeds were going to kind of go, and I was going to sit pretty good going 6 and pick up the pieces. But watching the racing yesterday, I don't know, but between the 4, the 5, and the 6, I'm hitting the go button, especially Joel Rosario. But a very interesting race. I think it's wide open for 5. We've kind of almost really, we left off the 3. I think and I think that's the one you could leave off. Probably could leave off the 1 also. I think between the 2, the 4, the 5, and the 6, that's where the race goes to, and it's very evenly matched in the tail of the Cats.
In the finale, which will go off just a little before 6:15 this evening, we're looking at $16,000 conditional claimers, an N2L condition, and a 7-furlong trip.
It could possibly be the 3rd day in a row that the chalk wraps up the pick 6 on the turf. This is now on the dirt. I'm going 6-1-9. Profusion is my top pick for Rudy. Comes out of a mile effort down at Belmont Park. We know that's 1 turn. Races 7 for the first time. 1 off the bench, going 6 right around the first day of spring when running for a tag, and now is coming back at the 16-2L. I think this is the right spot. For a second, Joey Loose Lips from the rail. As I said, that could be an advantage, shortening up from 9 furlongs to 7. Obviously, Seth and I both think is helpful. Seth thinks even more beneficial. And on the outside at 9-5, Well Done West for Danny Gargan, also shortening up from a 2-turn race. So 6-1-9.
1-9, 4, and 3. I had the 6, down in the 5th spot. If you pick up the 1 sheet, when I get down to 3, 4, and 5, sometimes I can't separate them, so I won't mention it. Particularly if there's a scratch, I do want to know. Think about pulling that one in. But Joey Loose Lips on top for me. For the aforementioned Michelle G. and Giulio, I said we'll have her on Racing Across America. Take the interview with her yesterday. She won the Evan Shipman for her first career win. She zipped in here in a cool little scooter. I'd never kind of seen this before. We were waiting for her, and boom, she zooms in on this little electric scooter. She's based across the street at the Harns track, so I guess she rides this run. She said, "Yeah, I put my buckets on the back here." But I mentioned this horse. I didn't ask. I'm always leery of asking trainers about claiming races and claiming horses.
It's best to stay away from it. I think I don't do interviewing on this at work. I wouldn't be good at it if they asked me to do it, but I think that's the tack to take.
That's my personal. I have no qualms, obviously, asking the stakes and the allowance runners and whatnot, but on the claiming ranks, they just, not that there's anything or they're being deceptive or anything like that, but I just think it's a different kind of a game to get opinions for. But all of that said, I mentioned it and I use it on the drop back in for the tag off the near miss finish against Allowance Company last time. Also the cutback. I thought there were plenty of things to like there. 2nd spot, Well Done West for Danny Gargan. Comes in from out of town most recently. Bullet workouts in tow and some class relief and good culture for Mike Maker. 2nd off the claim, also getting some class relief. They should put this one right in the thick of things. I think these 3, and that down the 4th spot, Vic Ram for Jonathan Thomas. third career start and some class relief. I think you can make the case there. And your 6, it's a fun way to end the day, let me put it that way. It's a get-out race that I think has the opportunity to get people out with some money, but I have it 1, 9, 4, and 3.
I'm actually going to hit this break from a word from our good friends at DePaula.
Welcome to Albany County, an incredible destination to live, work, and play, with easy connections to more than a dozen cities from our vibrant modern airport. It's a short trip downtown to a hive of culture and amusement, from world-class shows at the newly renovated Times Union Center to reliving the past at the New York State Museum. From outdoor recreation to shopping to nightlife, Albany County has something for everyone. We'll see you soon.
Birdstone is an outside threat. They're coming down to the finish. Can Smarty Jones hold on? Here comes Birdstone. Birdstone surges past. Birdstone wins the Belmont Stakes. Here comes High Chaparral. High Chaparral, the defending champ, to take it to Bobo. These two arch rivals head to head with Joe Hart bearing down on them. It's going to be a 3-horse photo finish of the turn. Here's the wire. Photo finish.
The Capital Region has some of the most sophisticated horse racing fans in the country. That's why Capital OTB built the Clubhouse Racebook. Here you can wager year-round on the best horse racing from around the world. The Clubhouse also has monthly promotions including live bankrolls, handicapping contests, and so much more. Like sports? Watch your favorite teams on more than 30 screens in Legends Field Sports Grill. Food, sports, and the excitement of championship horse racing only at the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany.
At DePaula, we think of our customers as family, so we want your experience to be fair and easy. Family owned since 1980, DePaula means quality and convenience, along with concerned and certified technicians. So come join the family and thank DePaula for all your automotive needs. At DePaula, we think of our customers as family, so we want your experience to be fair and easy. Over $2 million in original factory parts means you receive the very best for any make or model. So come join the family and thank DePaula for all your automotive needs.
It's post time for today's DePaula Play of the Day.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Time for the DePaula Play of the Day. We turn to our good friend Anthony Stabile. Anthony, good morning.
Good morning, guys. What's happening?
Well, we're getting through the heat and the sauna that happens regularly upstate, particularly in August. But today seems to be very manageable, at least at 9:57 in the morning. We'll see what 2:57 brings. But rumor has it you're taking us to the tail of the cat.
I am taking you to the tail of the cat. Today's feature before the big Grade 1 4-star day of tomorrow's Grade 2 Saratoga Special. Foolish Ghost is coming back on a couple of weeks rest and showed a new dimension last time. He was raked off the pace. He's got some speed to his inside today, wind of change, and wind to where Craig is. We'll see how aggressive those two are. Joel Rosario with the outside draw with Foolish Ghost. And again, that adaptability last time to race from just off the pace for a horse who had made his bones just in pretty fast fractions and going gate to wire in all of his wins. I like the fact that he has a chance to fit off of it today, make the one run if needed. And you know what? Stranger things have happened, and Foolish Ghost getting to the top and not looking back today. Just the price on the morning line at 4-1. I'm going to try Foolish Ghost. That's today's DePaula Play of the Day and the tail of the cat, race 9 here at the spot.
All right, Anthony, have a good morning. Enjoy the afternoon trackside. That wraps up the Handicappers Report. He stays, I go. Up next, Racing Across America.
You've been watching the Handicappers Report. The Handicappers Report has been brought to you by Pinnell's Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, Saratoga, just minutes from the track. The new Capital OTB wagering platform. Bet any place, anytime with the new Capital OTB wagering platform. And CapitalOTBBet.com, the premier wagering site in New York State.